Hey, what's up guys, Rex here, and today I'm going to be giving you some tips for Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare Remastered. So, these are going to be some general tips on how to get better at the game, how to just get used to boots on the ground again, because we haven't had boots on the ground Call of Duty in a very long time. So, it's a little complicated to get back into it if you were coming from games such as Black Ops 3. So, I'm going to give you some tips because I've probably played the boots on the ground Call of Duties more than I've played Black Ops 3 in the past year, because I just like playing the older Call of Duties. But I did play a lot of Black Ops 3. I did kind of enjoy it, but I do prefer boots on the ground. So let's get into the general tips for Modern Warfare Remastered. So first thing, you want to take this game a lot slower than Black Ops 3 or Infinite Warfare or Advanced Warfare, any of the games where you are flying in the air and you have the thrust booster thing or whatever, because you can't necessarily expect to get a lot of kills when you're not checking the corners and whatnot, because you got to keep in mind this is boots on the ground Call of Duty. People are going to be camping a lot, so you want to really check those corners, because you're going to end up rushing into a building. There's going to be someone hiding in a corner and they're going to shoot you. You're not going to know. You're going to be very mad. You're probably going to throw your controller to the window and it's going to suck. So definitely check those corners and take the game a little bit slower. You don't have to necessarily start camping or just go through the map very slowly. Just try to hold a spot for a little bit and move on. It's not necessarily considered camping. It's more just kind of defending yourself for a little bit and then moving on. As long as you move on and you don't stay there the whole game. If you stay there the whole game, that's kind of camping, and that kind of gets boring. It's really up to your play style. But if that's what you like to do, that's perfectly okay, as long as you have fun playing the game. That's what's important. So, second tip, use guns that you're comfortable with. Don't just use a gun because your friend said, oh, well, this gun is really good, like the M16 is amazing. But if you're not comfortable with that gun, if you don't like guns that are fully automatic, if you don't like guns that are semi, just try to find a gun that kind of clicks with you, and a gun that you're very comfortable using if you're playing competitive matches, if you're playing search and destroy, where you only have one life. Just try to find that gun that you're very comfortable with. Experiment with a lot of different guns. Try not to just use one gun, because it will get boring. I used the M16 through most of my first, well, actually through like most of my first 50 ranks, and I kind of got a little burnt out of like just the game in general, because I kept using the same gun. It was very stupid, because it's not the game, it was just because I was using the same gun a lot. But I really do enjoy the M16. It's a very good gun, but do try some different guns. And also you can get some challenges done which carry over to your next prestige. So if you're planning on prestiging, it's going to be worth it in the long run. But yeah, don't just use the M16. It is a very good gun, but trust me, it's going to get a little boring. Even when you get the gold camo for it, it's still gonna like not exactly be a lot of fun. Alright, so the next tip, map awareness. So map awareness has always been a thing in Call of Duty. Even in the thrust booster Call of Duties, it was still a huge thing. But in this game, it plays even like a bigger part than I think like in Black Ops 3, because there are going to be so many people camping, and if you know the general spots where most people are going to be camping, you could either throw a grenade through the building, or you could shoot through the walls, which is very effective in this game if you have deep impact. It's a tier 3 perk that is very good. I recommend it on the M16 or pretty much any gun in general. It's a very good perk, and yeah, if you know the maps very well, you're just gonna be able to kind of rotate around a lot more smoothly, and it's gonna help in the long run. It doesn't really hurt to try to learn the maps. You'll probably pick them up. You don't have to like force yourself to go into a private match and just walk around and try to learn all the spots. You'll probably just get it. It'll click with you eventually. But just try to keep that in mind, that you should know the maps if you want to play this game competitively, or just get better at the game. You should have pretty good map awareness. So Juggernaut versus stopping power is going to be the next thing. And this is kind of a huge thing a lot of people argue about when it comes to what's better for competitive. But really in the long run, it just depends on what you are comfortable with it and what your preference is, because both of them are pretty good. I actually haven't used Juggernaut a lot, but I know a lot of people that do use Juggernaut. So it really just depends on what you like. But personally, I like stopping power because I think it does it does really help in the long run for getting better at the game because you don't have to rely on having extra health. But that could also be argued with because you're getting extra damage, and yeah, you're kind of relying on the extra damage. So it goes really both ways. But honestly, I think Juggernaut is it's kind of weird. Like it kind of messes up the flow of the game in a way because you kind of like say if you're trying to get a double kill or something and like you couldn't get the other person because they had Juggernaut, it's kind of weird. It's gonna make you very angry, but I could see why people use it. It's especially useful for people that are getting sniped a lot, or it's useful for just like people that are holding points and domination or whatever. It's useful for a lot of things, but it could get pretty annoying. And yeah, it's just my opinion when I say that. I think it's a perk that is pretty annoying, but a lot of people like it, so it's really up to you if you want to use it or not. The final thing I want to talk about that is not a very major thing, it's more of an optional thing that does help. It really just depends on the player though, and that's going to be hardware. And hardware is going to go under having a control freak or using a scuff controller or any of the controllers available that will improve your gameplay. So I personally use control freaks. I don't have a scuff controller. I do plan on getting one in the future if I am ever to compete in Modern Warfare Remastered. That's if the scene is going to be huge, because I don't want to spend money on a scuff and then the scene is not going to grow, because it does seem like the scene is going to revolve around Infinite Warfare at this point. But I do really enjoy Modern Warfare Remastered over Infinite Warfare. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking about that. But like I said, I personally use control freaks. I've used them for about 4-ish years, maybe 3, and I really do like them. At first, you're probably gonna have like a love-hate relationship with them. Like when you first put them on, you're probably gonna ask yourself why you even are using them, and you're gonna probably want to take them off a lot. But control freaks kind of really do improve your gameplay if you do get used to them. It maybe takes about 2 to 3 days to get used to them. Could take a few hours. It really just depends on you. But like I said, I've used control freaks for a couple years now, and I really do like them. They definitely help my my aim and all that. And the main purpose of control freaks is to improve your accuracy. I should have said that in the first place. But yeah, control freaks are great. I have no experience with a scuff controller, but I do have friends that have a scuff controller. They're a bit expensive, so it really just depends on you. But personally, control freaks are great, and they're not too expensive. You can buy them at your local Best Buy or GameStop. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it helped you out, and be sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys later.